Hello everybody, Strategic Sage here, Creeper World 4 again, and we're going to do a map that is called Amazing. Is it really amazing, or is that false advertising? We shall see. Definitely is a maze of sorts. It says only find your way, and we actually can go any way we want, so that's a little bit of a misdescription. Anyway, about 1 hour is roughly the median time. And it does take a while to complete this one because of how the objectives are set up. Okay, so as we can see up here, 68 enemies all have to be nullified. We have to activate the totems and we have to reclaim. Have to complete all three. There are many emitters. Now we have these sort of four corners things we can start in different locations. We got breeder in the middle, and then flip breeder, and then everything around the outside. And it's kind of weird that there's this energy wall here, because I actually don't think that's the best place to begin. We'll get to that. But most of the emitters are slightly above standard strength. And then there's a few of these here in the middle, which they're not infinite strength, but they might as well be. There is a spore launcher, which will definitely be producing some eggs at us. And we've got to find some way to deal with this without taking half of our lives to go through and deal with all of these. Now, we have to stay on this area. The in-between areas, look down in here, these are all void. So I'm going to begin over here in the upper left. There's storage here. Most importantly, there's room for a bunch of miners on this resource patch, and we can spread out a little bit more here in our initial build. Not as much room, and the resource patch not as friendly in the other corners. So as we begin, got a big spike here in Creeper, and it's actually overflowing into Anti-Creeper, but it only takes it about 10 seconds to stop because of the modest default overflow value. Which I think it'd be interesting to see what happened to this map if this was a fair amount higher. Of course, you wouldn't want it to be a lot higher due to how insane these emitters are. There has to be a limit at some point when you're going to do that kind of thing. So our first group of miners are up now. The other urns coming forward to fill in some of the rest. I do want to get sprayers on at this point. I'm not going to quite go all in on energy at the beginning because I want to start doing some of this flip breeder in here. And so we need to get these rolling. That's probably long enough. We can shove on those miners now. And then we'll go ahead and activate porters. And also, this cannon here is particularly important. I need to prevent any creeper from making inroads across this area. Alright, sprayers. There we go. We're going to move our way in. We'll refuel with porters later, but right now we just need to get you in place. Let's make sure that you are armed. There we go. And on comes all of our miners, which means I now want to switch our urns. Whoops. Let's try that again. Switch our urns over to the portal. There are exactly 6 of them available. Let's go ahead and turn on our rocket pad and our refinery. And our missile launchers. Cannon is now up, ready to defend. That's good. And filling up these, then building over here will require quite a bit of energy. Now, you can see we've got a couple of snipers here. Want to contain the eggs so they can't go out to all of these emitters around the edge. And we've got cannons in here to also contain. I want to keep the creeper as much as I can in the middle, because that way I want to go through and knock out all these emitters around the outside first. It's sort of counterintuitive. These are the most powerful ones, but they're so powerful that we need to use the creeper cutoff as a weapon and not have a whole bunch of creepers spawning out here on the outside. The less of that there is, the more of these emitters we can knock out more quickly. So, breeding our AC there. Very nice. And we're definitely... Let me turn on this over here, because I want to get the runway going. Okay, I think we're doing well enough now. I'm going to also turn on the bombers. That's going to sink our energy for a while. But they're going to be needed for the containment effort here in the middle. This is kind of like the lanes map I did quite a while back. In that we've got these narrow passageways, so we don't want mortars. Bombers can be carefully targeted to the middle of it, and then we can use... our cannons as well. It's actually being a more efficient weapon. And then we're going to have a bunch of extra AC. It's already starting to spike up. So let's get in here and just... For now, I'm just going to throw them in here anywhere. Get some more sprayers. We'll make sure those are always on. Then over here, I can probably, not a lot, but maybe throw in another cannon there. Maybe move you forward a bit. I don't want the overhead of any nullifiers yet. There we go. And then see if these can push into these areas at all, they can help breed a little bit of extra AC a little more quickly. But getting this runway up and the bombers fueled, that's really what I need most of my energy to be going to right now. You can see this is definitely growing here. Without the bombers, we would not be able to hold this back. And here they go. Gonna need them to take a couple passes before we can really have the energy to do a lot else. And the AC continuing to spread. Up to about 40k. Still a lot more creeper than there is AC, but that'll be temporary. So as we begin to pound this down, and our cannons just need to hold this off, and this will eventually start flowing back. Maybe one more tower or something like there. Everything's boosted. What we have is what we're going to get. Okay, it looks like this is starting to weaken now. Up to 60k AC. Okay, you're up. The next thing I actually want to build is, because we're going to need them later and I'll forget if I don't do it now, is a few more of these. May not need quite this many, but I'm going to go with it. As we eventually expand to the corners, we're going to be getting more income from Greenar. And I want to be able to get as many orbitals up as I possibly can. So that's the idea there. Now I'd like to hook up here. Start building a few more cannons. I want to connect to the rest of this as my first focus priority. And then once I've done that, we can go out and start really nullifying. So let's throw up a couple of these. And of course, any place that we can do like this, where it's 2 for 1, is really going to benefit us, because nullifiers don't cost a lot of energy like individually, but the amount of them that we're going to need does. Should be able to get another 2 for 1 there. And there goes our first orbital of many. One more nullifier here. Let's not forget about the usefulness of our towers. And there we go. Now we're going to be connected. So along with the importance of using our cannons, I'm going to go transparency here. But it's also important for me to hop around here and start nullifying these. Thought I saw it. Yep, there it was. Okay. We'll use that 2 for 1. Get rid of you. Nope, I already got that one. Let's focus. Everything is well secured here in the middle. Well, except for that area. There's still some residual creeper. Okay, I don't think I've got one up there yet. Let's move out this way. Okay. We can do without that tower for now. So a lot of these areas we don't even need to bother with the cannons, just follow the anti-creeper. Not quite there. Okay. This should be a good spot. There as well. And we got 14 down, only 54 to go. We've got to hit a certain, basically critical mass here of having eliminated some of these. Though I wonder, can I... Yeah, once I move along far enough, that will work. So we'll just knock you out for the moment. There we go. Might be able to squeeze one in between these two. Just barely. Okay. Very nice. So let's start expanding down here more with our cannons. We're going to want more cannons in a few areas. I'm going to throw a few over here. Going to want some over here. I don't have to keep moving them around quite as much. I can just grab some where they're needed later on. This area will definitely need them. Okay, so that's going to be obviously a big energy draw for the moment. Still containing all of that. Almost as much AC as Creeper. And, okay, we're maybe a third of the way through clearing them out. Let's... We don't need many of these over here. The other thing is I don't want to forget about missile launchers in areas that aren't covered by AC. Towers, towers everywhere to keep our energy coming. Many nullifiers must be satisfied. Whoa. Okay. Got a bit of a hole in our defenses. Nullify there. Then I think I want to move some of these just directly over here. Let's keep you here. Some of you here for defense. But we should have quite a few to spare as well. Okay. There's quite a lot up in this area. You know what? We could just be moving this way as well. Alright. We can push you back further. That's not a problem. Okay, this is clear. Let's move out. Halfway there. In terms of the nullified objects. Another missile launcher, I think. I don't want to take off too quickly with too many cannons and, you know, let these reactivate. So I'm just being a little bit cautious here. This would probably be, well, this would be a good spot too. There we go. Some more business handled. Okay, I think I want to run through some of these now. There we go. This would be a nice spot. See if we can get to it. No! Okay. Everything appears to be in order over here. Should be able to actually keep going and just grab this corner. Instead of just always rebuilding, I'm going to bring some of these with. One more missile launcher over here, just to be sure. Okay. We are at 44 down, 24 to go. Roughly 2/3. Knocked out a couple more. That'll connect up here. We are going to want a couple of refineries, obviously. And then, actually, I don't even know if you are connected. We're just waiting for the lift stick to show up, which, for the moment, I should just turn these off briefly. Just to get this... Well, actually, I don't need to do that. It'll make its way there eventually. I don't need, like, a ton of it right now. Just make sure that we're connecting up to all of this. And that we are utilizing it with more sprayers. May actually not be enough, but it'll be some more. Okay, where do we want to head next? Let's just grab this pocket. Have all of you come out here. Okay, you are actually not hit. I wanted to be right in the middle there, I think. I think I'm occupying the place I need to be. So I really should be able to grab both of those. Yeah. That's what we want to do. Gonna hop over this way. That will work also. Okay. Let's head down to this area. Let's take another corner. You're not really close to much of anything. bring in some more of these. Probably another good area for a missile. All right. $53. You sick of nullifying emitters yet? I know I am. Okay, let's get these out of here. Now, once again, we're going to want refineries. Those should be close enough to harvest the necessary sprayers to utilize the AC. We're up to 7 orbitals. All right. Next up, let's just hop on this way. Should be able to knock out these two fairly quickly. I think right in here is where I want to be for the nullifier. But you don't have any ammunition. Alright, back up a bit. You will. Ah. I'm not going to be able to get both at once. Okay. Make sure we have plenty of protection. I'm feeling like this area needs a micro rift. And just due to the sheer volume of everything, we're also starting to see some slowdown here, so I apologize for that. Everything is set up to try to be optimal, but there's only so much you can do on maps with this much anti-creeper. This many units, these many enemies, it just bogs everything down. So let's go ahead and hop out this way. But we do have 12 or 13 of these left. Let's just see. What we miss? There are a couple over here. Want to make sure we get them all before we head to the middle. I think that's it. Yep, other than the central area, that's it. Okay. We need to plow our way into all of this. So the count is 12 remaining, and that'll be 2 more. You are not properly connected. Let's fix that. What would we lose? Tower down here. I don't see any problems. Okay. Just need to move a bunch more of these into position, really. This should be good. No? Well, that's a raw deal. Okay, fine. We'll do there, here, and here. Once we clear out the pathway. Some of these just far enough apart. And let's move out further here. Wait for everything to flow through. Another micro rift, why don't we? Why not? Help eventually. And I don't think we are set up yet with a nullifier this one. That'll be number 64. And that would just leave the 3 emitters and the spore launcher in the middle. Okay. So let's be connected down here. We're going to get this totem. That should all be good. We're going to get refineries. Now, yeah. We have tons of energy at the moment, which is exactly how I want it. Let's move some of these cannons. I want to... Like, I'm not going to be able to surround this thing with constant fire, but I want it to... I want to be firing at it from the outside. time for the final assault, you might say. Now, we're not going to get anywhere until we nullify these super emitters. So that's a thing that just has to happen. There's one. And there's two. The third one, a little more difficult to get to. But of course, now all the creeper on the map is going to be concentrated in this area. So, fun times are about to be had. I want to switch up my attack pattern with these. I'm going to withdraw this group to here. And I'm going to move this group. I don't care too much about the breeder at this moment. To here. I want to the extent that I can, I want to keep this line clear. Grr. Boy, that was just... That was... Ugh. Can I even... Ugh. Yes. Okay, so excuse my fumble mousing. I want to create a path in here to get this totem and to get this emitter, and then we can try to wear this down. Be a little easier said than done, but that's the idea. So, I'm going to want to do a conversion. Like so. I'm going to want a damper. Probably going to want lots of dampers. So we'll just go ahead and do that. We'll damper as much as we have to. We're going to nullify there. We're going to tower and tower. Then I am also going to expend some on a rain. Right now, we're just waiting for this thing to get powered up. We have plenty of energy, so I'm going to throw up some more cannons. So this is nullified. So in theory, now what we should start to see is the creeper begin to descend in terms of overall level. I'm going to damper again. Okay, there's our final totem. Almost there on reclaim, 98.2%. We have one enemy left to nullify, so we're super close. And if we can, say, tower into here and nullify that. Damper again. Oh yeah, most of the creepers actually gone. Let's go off of transparency. So now we're firing into it. And where's our AC at? Is it making inroads in this way? It's actually dampered to the point where the AC can't get in here, so that might not actually be a good thing anymore. I'm going to let the damper expire and see if our AC can handle its work here. Want to make sure nothing starts coming around this way. Yep, okay, we lost that. That's okay, as long as I don't lose this one. There's not that much AC left, and our cannons are trying to keep it off the breeder. You know what? Let's just rain. Yeah, there it goes breeding again. But I mean, there's not that much of it. Let's move some of our cannons in more. I think we got it. Oh, well, we did. Doggone it. Retreat. Retreat. Let's get that nullifier back up on the whatever your face is. The spore. Okay. Now let's move in here. Knock out the rest of it before it has a chance to defeat us. $99.9. We've got to get this nullify done. Yep, there it goes. Trying to breed again. Let's move in. Move in wherever we have to. Let's make sure that our bombers are all doing the task. There we go. Now it's finally charging. It took a little bit of convincing there at the end to really get everything out of this area. 40%. 50%. So, yeah. If you like your anti-creeper, this is definitely an excellent map. But, a bit counterintuitive, I think, on the approach to knockout. And obviously tedious with dealing with a mere 68 enemies to nullify. We're finally out of here. Was it amazing or was it miserable? Either way, we'll continue to try to change things up next week. See you then.